real estate comps. Maybe you've heard this term before, but you're not quite sure what it means.
Join us this morning, Maureen Bartelt, the real estate agent at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties. I love saying that. It's here to talk about how she uses comps to help you buy and sell your home. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Yes, thanks so much for having me again.
So comps, I think we hear that term a lot, but what is it exactly?
Well, comps or comparables are a massive part of the real estate industry, and it refers to properties that have similar features to subject properties. A subject property is going to be a home that you're interested in buying or selling, and some of those features are going to be things like square footage, the age of the home, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, even the neighborhood. I mean, you name it, it's probably a feature that we're going to be looking at.
I love HGTV, and they're always talking about the comps, especially with, like, when they're flipping homes and stuff like that. Well, the comps on this block. Do you get people trying to compare, you know, comps on what you see on a show to, you know, when they're dealing with an actual real estate agent in their own real life?
Every now and then, and I think the comps, especially on HGTV, I don't know what it is about those shows, but those people sure buy big homes for the jobs that they have and their budgets. I don't get it.
Well, tell us a little bit more about how you use those comps then when you're listing your home.
Yeah, so in comps, we're going to prepare a comparative market analysis, or a CMA. That's probably a term you've heard before. And our goal with that is to come up with reasonable pricing for your home. You know, we like to say that there are three things that impact the sale of your home, and that's the location, the condition, or the price. Can't do anything about the location. Condition is debatable. But the price we have full control over. So we really want to get that pricing accurate right off the bat. And we're going to look at homes that have sold recently, typically within the last 30 to 90 days, and then homes that are currently on the market, just to see what your competition is in the marketplace.
That's a good point. I mean, could you expand on that? I mean, you don't want to have the wrong price, or I would imagine owners always think my house is worth $500,000, but the comps don't really. You don't want to mess around with listing at the wrong price.
You don't want to mess around with listing at the wrong price, because then your house is going to sit longer, and the longer it sits, the more detrimental that is to the sale of your home and getting top dollar.
So as a buyer, though, I'm trying to buy it at the lowest price. So how do I use comps to help me as a buyer to negotiate? Yeah.
Again, another comparative market analysis, but in that regard, I, as your agent, am looking out for your best interest as your buyer. So we want to make sure that that home was listed accurately right off the bat and that you're not overpaying. One of the issues with offering too much money is appraisal issues down the road. So if you're financing a home when you buy, your lender is going to require an appraisal, and you never want that appraisal to come in too low, because that's going to bring you back to the negotiation table, and that's just something we want to avoid. So,
can you kind of break down the difference between then a comp and an appraisal?
A CMA and an appraisal? Yes, absolutely. So a CMA completed by your real estate agent, and that's really just kind of a reference point or an estimation of the value of your home. And again, we just use that to reference where should we price, what should we buy at. An appraisal is done by a licensed appraiser, and their whole job is to give an unbiased opinion of the value of that home, to ensure that the bank is not going to be making a bad investment by lending you the money to purchase it.
Is the appraisal disputable, or is that just, hey, that's what it is?
Sometimes, yes and no. That's really a complicated process. It's something that you really want to avoid, in all honesty. That's why we want to get the pricing right off the bat.
And that's why we want to work with someone like you as well, someone who understands the market, understands appraisals. How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. They can reach me by email, mb@bhhspreproperties.com, it's a mouthful, or by phone at 701-388-7738.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Appreciate it. All right, stay with us when we come back. We're talking about tech. Coming up, stay with us.